needs only be the fact that you are aware that the person can do what is being intended. So we're not talking about fear. And when we're talking about imminent, we're talking about, when we're talking about imminent, we're literally talking about something that's immediate. So if I tell that woman, instead of about to throw something at her, if I tell her, I'm going to come back later and throw some poop at you, just you wait. No assault. There's no assault there. Because there is time between when I said I'm going to do it and the time that it supposedly would occur. Imminent means imminent. It means that that apprehension must show of something imminently harmful or offensive. Some contact that would be imminently harmful or offensive. Also, when we talk about assault, we're also talking about the belief of, or what the plaintiff believes, what the victim believes. If, let's say the guy's holding up the feces, about to throw it at the woman, but the guy really wouldn't do that. The victim just needs to be reasonable about the circumstances. If the victim looks at that person and thinks, wow, he can follow through with that threat. And again, even if she's not afraid of it, but recognizes that fact and can see that it would be imminently done, that's enough. That is enough. The fact that nothing is thrown is not going to change anything. The fact that the defendant says, I would have never done that. I'm a kind person. I was just angry at that second and I wouldn't have thrown it. That's not enough. That's not enough. Once it gets to the point where the plaintiff, the victim, can apprehend that imminent harmful or offensive contact, that's all that's needed. Okay, false imprisonment. This one's a pretty easy one. Confinement of another is basically all that's needed. The intent to confine another. Basically, the intent to prevent another from leaving. If there are 4 exits and one person, and I'm inside a room with another person, and I say, if you leave this room, I'm going to kill you. And then I close all the doors except for one, and I go out that door and wait there, then that woman is falsely imprisoned. She could not see a way out that wouldn't threaten her life. Now, if there's one door that she knows, once you get out of, you can lock behind you and go for miles without anyone catching you. Maybe it's the police station or something like that. Well, that's different. Again, you'll hear this a lot, reasonableness. It depends on the situation. If a person cannot reasonably see a way to exit, then that person is falsely imprisoned. That person is confined. It also requires an intent to confine. So, you're in a grocery store late at night, and you go to the bathroom. You get out of the bathroom and you notice that the store is locked. You can't get out anywhere. Well, unless the last person who was in that store intended to confine you, there is no false imprisonment. There must be an intent to confine. Otherwise, there is no false imprisonment. Now, of course, there are lots of exceptions with all of these, but with false imprisonment, lawful arrest, if the officer in good faith and reasonably believes he has the authority to arrest, then that's not considered false imprisonment. And also there's an exception for shoplifting. If a manager reasonably believes that someone is shoplifting, again, reasonably believes that that person is shoplifting, then based on those reasonable grounds, the business owner has the ability to detain the person until the cops get there or to try to sort the situation out. Now, if the person has left the store, then no, there's no authority of the business owner to go and catch the person. Usually it stops right at the store. I'm going over a lot of material here. Again, read the book if you haven't already, and then maybe rewatch the video. But this is intended to kind of focus on some of the highlights. And if you read the book, it'll help clarify things if you're not quite understanding what's going on. You can also ask questions. Next, we're going to look at intentional infliction of emotional distress, also called intentional infliction of mental distress. This is probably the most overused and misunderstood tort. Oh, I can't believe he did that. I'm so mad at him, I'm going to sue him for emotional distress. Well, you're mad. You want to do something, and so the first thing that comes into your mind is to sue, but that's probably not going to be the case, because in order to have intentional infliction of emotional distress, you have to have some elements met, and most people who speak that don't have those elements down. You need severe emotional, mental distress. You need that intent to cause whatever causes that severe emotional or mental distress. And the emotional or mental distress must be as a result of some extreme or outrageous conduct on the part of the defendant. This isn't petty stuff. This isn't the stuff that normal people, claim that they're going to sue another person over. No. This is big time stuff. This is severe stuff. When we say outrageous conduct, we mean something that is intolerable in civilized society. Something that is intolerable in civilized society. Would throwing feces at another person be outrageous conduct? Give you a second to answer. Ask yourself, is throwing feces at someone intolerable in civilized society? If you said yes, you're probably right. I don't know about you, but